Hey guys, it's Avalee May with Yahoo Esports, and I am joined by Dardoch from Immortals, fresh off of his win versus FlyQuest. So that was a game 2-0. There was like a 20K gold league at some point. How are you guys that dominant in that series?
Well, to be honest, that's how all of our scrims have gone for about I'd say a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, where we have been hard stomping every team we kind of verse when we get the champions that we want. So this week we just we sat down with each other and just talked after we got O2'd last week, and we were like, we need to change something because we're doing really well in scrims but never translating to stage, and I mean we're finally doing it.
What was your factor that kind of translated your scrims to stage?
It was just we kind of compared our communication on stage in comparison to in scrims, and there were a lot of factors missing to where I had to over communicate for people who weren't doing their jobs, or sometimes if I got behind, people had to over communicate for me. So it was just we just had staple jobs for communication, and everyone did their job today.
Perfect. So you found kind of like the good in between for communication wise, and did it help kind of like with your team synergy overall?
It just made everything it felt more like scrims, so we were way more comfortable on stage and felt like we could do the risky things we do in scrims and get the gold lead to expand to those 10K, 20K kind of advantages, and then we can just roll over people.
I love it. Your risk-taking paid off. So you guys played FlyQuest, and I mean in the beginning of the split, they were probably one of the top teams that everyone was trying to beat, crazy win streaks, but right now they've been, just taking a few losses. What do you think about their overall situation?
Well, from the beginning, I thought FlyQuest was going to be a playoff team. I thought they were going to be more like an Energy or somebody like an Apex. They're kind of at the bottom of the top 6. And I thought they would start off really strong because they have people who are already comfortable with each other. They played together for a really long time, so I knew their synergy was going to be there from day one. So it wasn't surprising for me when they were so dominant in the beginning, because they kind of just put in Altec and Moon, and then the team meshed really well. They have 5 English speakers, so nobody really has communication issues or a language barrier to get over. So them starting off strong wasn't very surprising, but them kind of diving in the standings and just constantly losing over and over kind of surprised me. And it just kind of seems like they don't really take things seriously, and they're not really here to be the best. They're just kind of here to play in LCS. Most of their players have already had really extensive and fulfilling careers in League of Legends, so it looks like they're just having fun, to be honest. When we scrim them, it's kind of just they lose in 15 minutes or they win in 15 minutes by playing really risky, random stuff. And then on stage, they're picking Mordekaiser and Shaco, and it's just really random things that are obviously not the best, and they're just kind of having fun.
I mean, the Mordekaiser worked, and they pulled the ban from you guys, so who knows about that one. But I wanted to point out, I believe in the pre-game, there was kind of a feature with Moon talking about how you guys are really close friends and how he was excited to play against you. Do you guys have a close friendship, or?
Yeah, me and Moon are really close friends. We've always talked to each other because we were both in the same situation on TL and Energy in our first split. We were both rookies struggling on a team with Koreans, and we had a language barrier, so we always talked to each other. And then during off season, when I had my drama with TL and he had his, he was teamless on TLA when they didn't make it, we were always just rooting for each other. So when we both made LCS again and we both had opportunities to go forward, we were always really happy. And then we both, solidified ourselves as top junglers in the region, and it's always really fun playing against him.
That's sweet. It's like you guys are two friends. You get to grow up and join the big leagues together. I really like that. I read on Twitter yesterday, though, sad story, it seemed that, what was that? You had a tweet. Usually you're the trash talker, but you were apologizing to Moon for something?
Well, I said, he said something on Twitter, and then I said, it looks good just like your Shaco play, and I didn't realize he lost. I just saw that he picked Shaco, and yeah, he wrote me individually and told me to apologize on Twitter.
Oh, well, it happened, and props for the apology. That's true friendship right there. So going back to talking about your experience with Team Liquid, that was kind of a big topic. What do you think of their overall situation right now with the roster swaps, and I mean bringing in Double Lift? From the outside perspective, since you're no longer with the team, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I wish they brought in Doublelift for summer, but like when I was on the team. But I mean, it just kind of looks like their plan of this God team with all their imports and all their money just didn't go their way. So now they're just trying to save it because this kind of situation where they're doing just kind of means that they don't feel confidently that next split when Doublelift rejoins TSM or does whatever he's doing, that they don't feel confident enough in their roster options to that they can say like, yeah, we're going to win summer split. So they're trying to they're buying everyone available. Like they added Adrian, they ran 80 carry tryouts and then they still added Doublelift after. So it's like, yeah, they're kind of just trying to buy their way into playoffs to get points for Worlds, so like they can make second or third next split and go to Worlds. But I mean, I honestly don't see it really happening. I still don't think they'll make playoffs in general, even with Doublelift, because I think that actually maybe if they put Adrian in, they'll do fine, because I think Rainover and Piglet are really high tier. Even Piglet is just a really good mid laner. You see him solo killing like one of the top mid laners for a really long time, and Lorlo's always a beast. And Doublelift just needs to, I guess, get back into the groove of things, but I think Matt is always going to be a problem for them. So maybe if they put in Adrian, they can make playoffs.
I don't believe he's playing this week, but maybe next week I think they're going to throw him in. But you guys are playing TSM tomorrow, big team to go against. Going to be facing Svenskeren. Are you worried? Are you prepared?
Svenskeren's never really been the overwhelming jungler kind of type, so I never worry playing against him. I know he's going to play, like normal, and he's going to play around his laners, and it's everything he does is correct, but it's like by the books. There's nothing to be scared of. Like when I play against Moon, I know he can play normally, but he also has like his Evelynn, his Shaco, and stuff like that. But Svenskeren's just a bland kind of normal jungler, but he's really high tier at that. So it's like there's no element of surprise. You know exactly what he's going to do, but you're still losing, that kind of thing. So where he plays the normal standard jungle champions really well, so you can get overwhelmed, but everything he does, you can be like, okay, he's going to do this and he's going to come here, and then you can play around it. But yeah, never really worried about playing against Svenskeren. I'm more so worried about Bjergsen.
Bjergsen, he's always a troublemaker. Well, do you have anything that you'd like to say to your fans out there, Immortal fans or Moon?
Well, thank you to the fans who stuck around and the fans who just stuck with us, even though, we got 0-2'd last week by TL Envy, and sorry, Moon.
Sorry, Moon. Well, thank you so much for the interview. And for everyone else, you can check out more of our coverage at Yahoo Esports.